My stance on the Google Pixel 3 range is different to a lot of people and reviewers out there. I like the devices a lot, sure, but right now I don't think the Pixel 3 is a good purchase, and looking back, I'm not sure it ever was. Before we start, if you do have a Pixel 3, I'm not here to say that it's a bad phone or you've made the wrong choice. The Pixel 3 is a really solid device. I'm just here to point out some points and to voice my opinion. Anyway, let's get on with it. The Pixel 3's design was never class leading, and that's still true today. Both models have some ugliness about them. The XL suffered from an abnormally large notch, which even Google laughed at, and the standard model, which I have here, has sizable bezels. I wasn't mad keen on the look when they were announced, and looking at them now, it almost seems unforgivable by today's standards for a flagship. With big bezels comes some benefits, of course though. The dual front-firing speakers of the Pixel 3 have great stereo separation. They get plenty loud enough, and they're perfect for watching videos on the go. There's also two selfie cameras tucked away in there as well, which we'll get to later. The screen itself is solid too, if a little dim in outdoor situations. It's a 5.5 inch OLED panel, and it comes with all the benefits of that. Punchy colours, wonderfully deep blacks, and the always on function for time and notifications is much appreciated. On the flip side, literally, I'm actually a big fan of the back of this phone. The Pixel look is somewhat iconic now. I like how the glass divides up the rear, and the soft touch backing is really nice in the hand. Not to mention the fingerprint scanner is in the perfect spot and is still razor fast. I'm also a huge fan of the accented power button, which adds a sense of fun to the overall look. I must admit though, the not pink colourway is an absolute winner for me. I think it's one of my favourite colours that I've ever seen on a phone, and I'm really pleased with it. Google played it safe with the design here, and I think that's a shame. Other manufacturers are pushing the boundaries in phone designs right now, and in my eyes the Pixel doesn't stand toe to toe with the Galaxies, Huawei's, OnePluses, and even iPhones out there. Hello?
Hey, it's me. Did you mention Skillshare yet?
I was just about to, actually.
Well, make sure you mention Skillshare as an online learning community for creators. With over 25,000 lessons in photography, video production, business, digital illustration, and more.
Yeah, I will. I was also going to say that Skillshare costs less than $10 a month, and that gives you access to absolutely everything the website has to offer.
Yeah, that's cool. There's never been a better time to learn something new or just develop your skills, I guess.
Definitely.
Did you show them the little drawings on your iPad?
Yeah, I'm actually holding them up right now, and I was going to say how fun and informative the lessons were too.
And there's over 7 million creators learning with Skillshare.
And the first 500 people to use the link in the description below will get 2 months of Skillshare on the house.
That's good. I didn't actually think of that.
Well, you can't know it all. So if you want to fuel your creativity, curiosity, or even career, Skillshare is the place to keep people learning and thriving in 2019. So we just need to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video and helping support our channel. Having a Pixel device means a wonderfully clean version of Android. No carrier or manufacturer bloatware is a dream, and I generally enjoy most of Google's apps for everyday use. 3 years of guaranteed updates is always a good thing to have under the belt too, which is peace of mind when getting an Android device. However, I'm just going to say it, I outright don't like the Pixel launcher for Android, and that pretty much boils down to a couple of things. Now, I'll be the first to admit they're petty gripes, but I think they're worth mentioning. Firstly, gesture control on Android still feels off and lacks the fluidity that the iPhone seems to nail so well. Secondly, I feel like Google is just pushing their services on me at all times. For instance, the search bar is always present on the home screen, and then here, and then here, and I didn't even want it in the first place, let alone on these 3 different screens. And thirdly, it's not being able to swipe down on the screen to reveal the notification shade. I know you can swipe down on the fingerprint scanner to reveal it, but I still don't think that's ideal. Like I said, petty gripes, but awkwardly shifting my grip to reach it just doesn't feel right. Little things like this is why I always have Nova Launcher set as my main home on Android phones, which lets me change all of this up nicely. Performance wise, the Pixel 3 has remained pretty good. The Snapdragon 845 chip has kept things running smoothly for me, and it seems like any RAM management issues have been sorted now. I've yet for an app to drop out on me, which is good. I do worry that the 4GB in the Pixel doesn't have much headroom for the years to come though, but for now at least it's been perfectly fine for me. Call screening and duplex calls are something that are really exciting and unique to the Pixel 2, but over in the UK here at least, that feature is yet to come, so it's hard for me to comment on it right now, and Google appears to be rolling out rather slowly, albeit carefully. If there's one area where the Pixel does still absolutely shine though, it's in the mighty camera. This is still easily, if not the best phone camera on the market. Pictures are wonderfully detailed, exposure is on point, and the high dynamic range plus mode is really very good. I've tested a lot of phone cameras and I'm always impressed with how the Pixel renders colours. Nothing feels overdone, and it seems to get things just right pretty much every time. Night sight is still working its dark magic as well, pulling light out of scenes that look like they have nothing to give, and the results are nothing short of amazing. Another great feature and another excuse for that large bezel is the dual selfie camera. The main one is just your standard front-facing affair, and the second is a really awesome wide angle, which is perfect for getting in bigger groups or larger scenes. However, while I think the camera is great, I don't think it's the best experience anymore. I mentioned this in my Mate 20 vs Pixel 3 video, that while I think the Pixel 3 main shooter is one of the best out there, having an optical zoom and a wide angle is just so much more fun to shoot with. And if you're shooting more photos because you're enjoying it, then in my opinion, that's a better camera. Battery life is always dependent on how you use your phone, and while the Pixel 3 is by no means a battery champ, it lasts me quite easily for the whole day. My screen on time is usually around 2 hours a day, and I'll go to bed with around 30 to 40% of the battery left. Your usage will vary though, although I'm confident you'll get at least 3 hours of use, but pushing further than that might be tricky. Like every company should, Apple, Google pops a fast charger in the box, so topping up when you're in a pinch is nice and easy. And thanks to that glass back, we've got wireless charging too, which is always nice. So battery life on the Pixel 3 is pretty average. If you're like me, then you'll probably get along with it just fine, but if you're looking for a phone that delivers over 3 hours of screen on time, then it's probably best to start looking elsewhere. So the big question is, should you still buy a Pixel 3 now? And in my opinion, no. And if I really think about it, even when it was released, I don't think it was ever worth it. A lot of the flagship products that came out in 2018 were a lot more interesting and exciting. And the Google Pixel 3 and the XL, at least to the less tech savvy of us, were just boring. And unless you're going budget, I don't think you can afford to be boring in the current Android market. Phones like the Galaxy S9, S10, the Huawei's and the OnePlus 7s out there just offer so much more. From screens to cameras to stunning and bold designs, the Pixel 3 simply doesn't command the spaces in 2019 like these devices do. With the recent release of the Pixel 3a, I think Google might be starting to realise this, harking back to the days of the Nexus devices, which balanced the line between fully featured and fairly priced. If you're after the Pixel experience now, then I would go for the Pixel 3a. It's got the same killer camera that people come to the Pixel range for, and it's got much improved battery life. But if you're looking to spend more, then I would look someplace else, although it's probably worth giving Huawei a miss, at least for now. So that rounds up the video. If you enjoyed it, pop a like. If you loved it, pop a sub, and I will see you all in the next one.